So I know this guy, right? I guess you could call him a friend. Well, he's got this problem. More like an addiction, really. But it's not drugs or alcohol or sex or anything like that. It's girls, though. Jewish girls in particular, which usually get him into trouble. I originally had this great idea to make a chase film, but it didn't seem too practical considering my financial limitations. However, I liked the idea of the chase, so I decided to think of a better plot to build the film around. So I'm sitting in Dr. Nygren's film and video production class one day, listening to everyone's final project proposals, when a filmic revelation finally occurred to me. I scrapped my previous idea and decided to concentrate on my friend's female troubles as the subject for this video.
I decided to stay true to the chase scene idea, but I added a little twist. You see, this is where those Jewish girls come in again. I mean, the whole element of the chase is still relevant, as the film's main character, Jay Kendall, is constantly running around from one girl to the next. But in the end, he's bound to get caught.
I'm Jay Kendall, star of this show. But before this film goes any further, I'd like to make a disclaimer to cover my ass in lieu of any backlash I may receive as a result of this performance. When I signed up for this gig, they told me one of the perks I'd be receiving was heavy media exposure at a large, well-publicized public screening. Naturally, I jumped at the chance to showcase my talents to an audience because I knew I certainly wouldn't be getting paid for my acting services. But after I read through the script, I saw the potential of getting myself into a lot of hot water. For the record, let's get a few things straight right off the bat. My name's not Jay Kendall. It's just my screen name. Also, while scenarios in this film are loosely based on a true story, the names and faces, including my own, have been modified and altered to cater to a public viewing. In addition, I have been asked to say that the original facts and individuals who contributed to this screenplay shall remain nameless in order to maintain any integrity or self-respect they may have had prior to this film's release. So, without any further ado, here's my story.
Now that we're finally ready to start, let me give you a quick background synopsis to bring you up to speed on the whole situation. You see, originally, the premise of the film was to present a day in the life of the main character, Jay Kendall. However, for your viewing enjoyment, we decided to expand the scope of the whole project in order to incorporate Mr. Kendall's swinging yet bachelor lifestyle over the past 5 to 6 months.
All right, Jay, why don't you start from the beginning?
Well, I started dating this girl, Mindy, about 6 months ago, but due to the fact that I can't commit to anything, we're not seeing each other anymore, and she wants nothing to do with me. We met at a party, and we really hit it off. She's in Delta Phi Epsilon, which is the most predominantly Jewish sorority house on this campus. This was fine with me, because as you already know, I love Jewish girls. She took me on a few day functions, and I even introduced her to my parents. To be honest, Doc, I started liking this girl more than I should, and that wasn't a good thing, being that I'm not a one-woman man.
Well, Jay, a man does have to have his priorities.
Exactly. I mean, Mindy wasn't my girlfriend or anything, so I didn't feel bad about fucking around behind her back.
Did you get caught?
Of course. And that's where Tasha comes into the story.
Okay, time out for a second. Remember, Mindy is girl number 1. Tasha is girl number 2. The only problem with that is that Tasha's Jewish also. As a matter of fact, they're both in the same sorority. Since I'm convinced that all Jewish people know each other, it shouldn't be long now until Jay Kendall's scheme is discovered.
Of course, with my luck, it certainly shouldn't be any surprise that Mindy knows Tasha. And once she finds out about us, which shouldn't be long, the shit hits the fan. Needless to say, I'm not the most popular guy around the DPhi house anymore. They either love me or hate me.
How does that make you feel, Mr. Kendall?
Well, to be honest, I don't feel that bad about the whole situation. I mean, Mindy won't talk to me anymore, but Tasha has to live with her in the same sorority house, so I figure I got off easy. Besides, Tasha's the one who came after me, not the other way around.
So, Jay, are you happy with your decision to stay with Tasha?
Apparently not, because with Mindy out of the picture, there just wasn't enough conflict in my life. I mean, normally I take the blame for my stupid actions, but this time, trouble came looking for me.
All right, I'm back. let's jump ahead real quick. Remember, Mindy, girl number 1, she's done with. But Tasha, girl number 2, she's still hanging around. Now, enter problem number 3, Stephanie Newman. Stephanie is the third and final Jewish girl in Mr. Kendall's recent love triangle. So for now, let's just throw it back to Jay.
So, Jay, who's it gonna be?
Well, Tasha, she's a cool girl and everything. But Steph, she's something special.
She's in the 85, the other Jewish sorority on campus, which just happens to be my favorite. It's really hard to choose, because I really don't want to hurt either one of them. But quite frankly, I'm getting the best of both worlds.
So, Mr. Kendall, how long do you think you can keep up with these, shall we say, shenanigans?
Well, Dr. Feelgood, I'm gonna play the field until I get caught. And the way I look at it, getting caught may not be all that bad. I mean, sure, Tasha will never talk to me again, but that's what Steph wants anyway, so she can have me all to herself.
So, Jay, does Stephanie have any ties to any of your other women?
I mean, I guess things wouldn't be as interesting if she didn't, so of course she does. Steph and Mindy have a mutual best friend in common, and this is not the first occasion in which they've dated the same guy. However, her relationship with Mindy is basically irrelevant because Mindy thinks I'm an asshole anyway. Now, Tasha, on the other hand, is a totally different story. I mean, her and Stephanie grew up together and even went to the same school. They were never really the greatest of friends or anything, but Tasha would certainly have the right to be pissed off at Stephanie for moving in on her man, if she ever found out.
Well, this certainly is a sticky predicament you've gotten yourself into, Jay.
Yeah, no shit, Doc, but I graduate in a few weeks, so I figure if I can pull this off, I should be in the clear.
Well, it's been a pleasure chatting with you, Jay, and I wish you the best of luck. Because quite frankly, you're going to need it.
Yeah, well, hey, thanks for nothing. Arrogant prick.
Les jeux sont faits. Translation, the game is up. Your ass is mine.
Let's just hope that no 85 or D5 8-year-olds show up to the public screening. Otherwise, my ass is in the doghouse. If any of this gets back to Steph, Tasha, or Mindy, I don't think I'll ever have to worry about having too many girl problems again.
Well, it's quite obvious to myself and the viewing public that Jay Kendall is a swinging ladies' man. I decided to interview a few people really close to him to see how they felt about his player lifestyle. So I decided to ask his sister what she thought about his girl situation.
Well, personally, I think what he's doing is absolutely sleazy. I mean, the way he's looking at it right now is that it's all just fun and games. But oh, wait till he gets caught. Is he in for a rude awakening? I mean, think about it. All these girls know each other.
I even managed to contact the only girl he's ever had a significant monogamous relationship with. As a matter of fact, they broke up 3 years ago, but she was still nice enough to return my call. All the way from Maryland.
Hello, Mr. Lee. This is Danielle. I received your message about Jay and his ridiculous girl situation. He's already told me the whole story, and if he's foolish enough to make a movie about it, then he just really deserves to be caught.
Personally, I'm not too sympathetic to Mr. Kendall's cause either. He'll get what's coming to him sooner or later. But for now, he's living the life that every guy dreams of. Sure, all the girls who get burned along the way may despise him, but there are plenty more waiting in line. He's a playboy for the 90s. I mean, he wakes up to Stephanie every morning. And then runs to campus to be with Tasha. Even if he gets caught in the end, the legacy of Jay Kendall shall live on forever. Besides, at the very least, he'll have priceless stories to tell his kids one day.
College has been an interesting experience, to say the least. It took me a little while to adjust from high school to college girls, but don't worry, I got the hang of it. These last 2 years, though, have been one big party with a different girl practically every night. I'm certainly going to miss it. It's a good thing I agreed to make this quasi-documentary based on the last 6 months of my life. Now, I'll always be able to look back on the memories of my swinging college years. I'd just like to acknowledge all the girls who put up with my shit over the last few years, and I'd also like to thank them for making my experiences at the University of Florida so much more memorable. Finally, I'd like to apologize to all my lady friends who didn't make it into this video, but I was on a very limited time budget, and besides, Dr. Nygren probably wouldn't have appreciated it had I exploited any more of you.
To tell you the truth, it's not as easy as it looks. I mean, playing the field can be hard work, and it's not necessarily all it's cracked up to be. Some nights, even I wind up sleeping alone. I hope I'm not getting sentimental or anything, but lately I've been thinking about settling down. Who knows? Maybe I'm losing my itch.
I gave my life for that flag. We all did.